After years of rumors and carefully orchestrated silence, Kate Gosselin has decided to speak. She finally says something negative about her ex-husband, Jon Gosselin, in a rare, vulnerable moment. "Finally, I can speak," she says. For those who followed their rise on Jon and Kate +8, the divorce is worse than expected. No more editing or spin, just Kate, the way she remembers. And it's just the start. A TV-built family broken. Before the divorce, headlines, and Kate Gosselin's quiet, a suburban Pennsylvania family of 10 struggled to survive. When they had sextuplets in 2004, Jon and Kate Gosselin didn't want celebrity. Discovery Health Channel noticed their growing family with twin children. A one-time program, Surviving Sextuplets and Twins, showed the Gosselin family's craziness, charm, and continual activity. Instant hit. From there, the Gosselins became famous quickly. Jon and Kate +8, a 2007 TLC reality series, brought millions into their homes. The routines, color-coded costumes, and Kate's crisp, no-nonsense enthusiasm captivated audiences. Jon, the laid-back dad, often played overwhelmed but loving. They embodied a broad, quirky, wholesome American ideal. Tension was rising beneath the surface. TLC hit gold. The Gosselins were real but distinctive enough to entertain. They were filmed at every meal, meltdown, and milestone. Faithful viewers tuned in, and advertising noticed. Presentations, book deals, and endorsements followed. A slice-of-life documentary became a media empire. TLC promoted Kate as a modern supermom and quietly recast Jon as a supporting character. Used to work. Cracks grew as episodes piled up. Kate Gosselin's perfectionist tendencies dominated the episode. Fans complimented her structure but noticed a colder side. Jon Gosselin faded in the spotlight. He became quieter on television, avoiding eye contact and deferring to Kate. He became disgruntled off-screen, sources said. He didn't sign up for brand. He'd chosen fatherhood. Couple dynamics were changing behind closed doors. Long hours of filming, public attention, and pressure weakened the marriage. Once shared decisions like discipline, budgets, and vacations were now mediated through productivity needs. Private disputes became public. No longer was the show about family. The focus was performance. The differences between Jon and Kate were obvious by 2008. He seemed remote. She appeared more practiced. The show focused on children, although their interactions with parents were more organized. As viewership rose, the Gosselins' relationship slowly broke down. The genuine split was between more than two parents. The choice was reality or reality TV. Few saw TLC's domestic life juggernaut crumble beneath its own weight. Next would not just ruin the family's reputation. What was happening behind the scenes would be revealed. Kate would soon have to make life-changing choices. Marriage crumbles behind smiles. By 2009, harmony was no longer shiny. Jon and Kate Gosselin were together on TV, but the fissures were too visible. What was once amusing family chaos was now uncomfortable. Viewers sensed it. Something changed, then the photographs. Paparazzi caught Jon Gosselin exiting a bar at 2 a.m. in April, with younger Deanna Hummel. Images spread rapidly. Instant conjecture. Had Jon and Kate +8's fatigued but faithful dad cheated? Hummel's brother fueled the fire by claiming a months-long affair. It was refuted by Jon, as did Deanna. But the harm was done. Jon admitted to wrong decisions and judgments, but gave only more questions. Unexpectedly, Kate Gosselin, who was out of town marketing her book, was already battling with marriage distance and misunderstanding. The scandal broke. "I've struggled to define this guy. You can attempt to ignore it, but there are red flashing lights behind the scenes," she remarked in an honest interview. Kate deteriorated. She held the brand, schedule, home, and marriage idea in her head. Her ex-husband was in huge trouble, and their children were at peril. She kept recording and smiling, but she was unraveling. She encouraged Jon to return to school, acquire a career, and find meaning outside the show for years, but nothing changed. Financial anger also emerged. She made more money from the show and its linked endeavors, but it all went into one pot. Jon still seemed to hate her attention. Kate stated she didn't care if everything died tomorrow. "I care about kids." For him, it changed. After Jon confessed he didn't like public appearances, she stopped them. Even at home, he was withdrawing. There was no breakdown, just a quiet drifting. Kate famously said, "We're in separate books, not just pages." She corrected later, "We're in different libraries." The betrayal went beyond infidelity. It involved abandoning aims and principles, the life they established. Kate felt helpless, as Jon made decisions that damaged everything they had worked for. Worse, she thought their children would suffer most. Kate prepared for something worse, while the public speculated about cheating scandals and personality problems. The divorce was imminent. The next step was inevitable. It would be shown to millions this time. Finally, I can speak. Kate's first talk. The divorce didn't prompt Kate Gosselin to explain herself. For months, she kept a low profile to shield her children and possibly her ex-husband from the spotlight. But soon, the solitude was too much. Kate stated in her first in-depth interviews after the divorce that she tried to keep the family together while everything fell apart. What stung most, she said, wasn't fame or cameras. The feeling Jon Gosselin had left the marriage before it ended. She said she went through this with him for 6 months. He complained. "I told him to return to school, find himself, and do something, but nothing occurred." She spoke of a man who shared her dreams but had changed. Her husband Jon was gone. He was replaced by someone angry, indifferent, and irresponsible. Kate highlighted avoidance, missed appointments, and half-hearted contributions. His identity was slowly disintegrating, not just emotionally. She compared the difference to having a stranger stay in your life. Kate sought to keep home control throughout. Brand message. However, she realized she could only hold so much. "This was beyond my control," she said. "He made decisions I would never want my children's father to make." From late-night bar escapades to surprise purchases, Jon's behaviors left Kate struggling to maintain normalcy in a dangerous home. She rejected the concept that her strength drove him away. "Always woman's fault, right? But everyone is responsible for their conduct," she continued. Kate admitted she was flawed. Although she was angry and exhausted, she refused to blame Jon for his behavior. "You kidding me? I drove him there. Please." Her account was scathing and without justifications. "Jon chose." She stated her responses had lasting effects on the 8 youngsters caught in the crossfire, not the cameras. Kate spoke more than firmly, quite heavy, not merely a media interview. She removed the mask for the first time. The placid exterior hid a woman who had struggled for years while her boyfriend left. After speaking, she was clearly not done, because divorce was just the start of the public disintegration. Their breakup became explosive after what happened next. On-camera divorce. Millions tuned in for Jon and Kate Plus 8 on June 22, 2009. Instead, they watched a public divorce. Jon and Kate Gosselin glared at the camera like ex-partners, stiffly sitting on opposite ends of a couch. Jon avoided her look and added, "Kate and I are splitting up." Kate, choking back tears, said, "Arguing in front of the kids is bad for them." Nothing dramatic happened, just a calm ending. The televised divorce timing was deliberate. TLC scheduled the broadcast during a ratings peak to maximize viewership, according to insiders. The network, which built its empire on Gosselin, wasn't ready to let go. The crowd found the rawness obtrusive and unnatural. The couple, who had prepared birthday cakes and wrangled kids on screen, were now disassembling their family line by line. Off camera, the reactions were wildly different. Jon stepped away from filmmaking, then responsibility. Early on, he talked little, but his actions said much. Then came late-night escapades, showy purchases, and young girlfriends. The distant dad became careless. Critics said he abandoned his marriage and children. Didn't retreat. She became more famous. Within months, TLC renamed the show Kate+8 and deleted Jon from the title and footage. The show now focused on Kate's single motherhood of 8 children. Her public reputation was saved by her brave move. But the tone changed. The warmth vanished. Different dynamic. This wasn't just divorce. The original Gosselin brand died. Family First reality program became something different. Jon disappeared and Kate continued, changing the power dynamic. Soon, that shift would affect more than just the cameras. Into courtrooms, newspapers, and kids' hearts. War over custody. Kids as collateral. After the divorce, Kate and Jon Gosselin's fight altered. After the cameras stopped filming for Jon, co-parenting 8 children remained complicated. Both parents acknowledged the difficulties, but their reports rarely matched. First, the plan looked straightforward. The children would stay at home while Jon and Kate rotated in and out for stability.